In the meantime, though, turn our attention to a different story altogether. It's on the front page of today's Irish Times, and it's that Catholic schools that reward pupils who attend religious ceremonies are discriminating against non-Catholic pupils. The Workplace Relations Commission has found. This was in a ruling made against Yellow Firs Primary School in County Meath, saying they discriminated against an atheist pupil by rewarding his classmates who attended a First Communion choir ceremony with homework passes. Michael Nugent is the chairperson of Atheist Ireland. Michael, do you welcome this decision?
Yeah, absolutely delighted with this. It's a very important win for the right to freedom of belief, which applies to atheists just as much as it applies to religious people. And what's happened here is that you have a constitutional right to attend any publicly funded school without attending religious classes or ceremonies. It's in the Constitution. You also have a right under the Education Act to opt out of any subject that's contrary to your conscience. Now, for a long time, Catholic schools have got away with just forcing people into religion classes despite that. But in recent years, parents have started to stand up to that and have recognised that they have this right. So what the schools have started to do is try to get around their obligations by things like this, coming up with rewards and punishments, by saying you have to sit at the back of the class, by saying that something is religious education, not religious instruction, and therefore it doesn't fall under. They're just trying to get around things. Well, and what this shows that they can't do that.
Okay, they can't do it. Well, Michael, let me go to Eamon Delaney, the author and columnist, who's also on the line. Eamon, you heard it there. This is an important win for the right of freedom of belief. Do you agree?
But no, I don't agree at all. No, Michael's described the removing the obligation for children to attend religious events, and that has been removed. So the child in this case was not obliged to go to this event and could easily have opted out. And my understanding, and I'm familiar with schools, I've got two kids in a kind of nominally Catholic school, is that kids there who are from atheist families just sit out and go and do something else. And in this case, that seems to have been the tradition up until this case was taken. And I don't understand why a tradition can continue. No child has been discriminated against. The bigger picture here, of course, is that there continues to be this struggle, and will continue to be, whereby the state has the Catholic school system is by de facto the state school system, and we haven't resolved that to the satisfaction of the people who are running the schools, who are the religious, and people like Michael who are get up in the morning anxious to advance the cause of atheism and for all the people connected to it, you know.
Michael, what about that point that, look, this was the settlement that most schools came to. Kids aren't forced into religious instruction anymore, but it's perfectly fine to expect a kid to go off and do other work while some are singing in the choir if they don't want to sing in the choir.
Well, it's a question of rewarding children and punishing children. If you imagine it the other way around, if you imagine that if there was a school that was rewarding children who don't go to Mass and punishing children who do go to Mass, religious people would immediately recognise that that's wrong. And we're not promoting atheism, we're promoting secularism.
No, but even the idea of punishment, punishment, can a child be given work to do, like academic work, while other children are singing in the choir during that time? Is that punishment?
That wasn't what the situation was.
No, I'm asking in a general sense, because I don't know the exact detail of this. But if there is choir practice on Wednesday afternoon from 2 to 4, and if the atheist child says, I'm not going to that, and you say, fine, you sit here and do maths, is that punishment?
That wasn't what the situation was. This is a specific
No, I know,
case.
but I'm asking you. I'm asking about that situation. Is that punishment to give someone academic work as opposed to singing?
It would be punishment if a child is made to do anything that other children aren't made to do on the basis of their religious or non-religious beliefs. And the problem is that the thing is so riddled with...
But I suppose, let me just have to follow on then the obvious one. What should they do then during choir practice?
What they should do is either attend choir practice if they want to, or not attend choir practice if they don't. But there should be no other consequences with regard to their other activities within the school. And there's a parallel issue going on here, which is that under the 2008 Admissions to Schools Act, which is trying to address all of these issues, schools have been told that they have to include in their admissions policies how they deal with these issues. They have to let parents know before they go to the school how they deal with children who are opposite to religion. Well, but what the schools are doing on this, now this is a very important point, what the children are doing, what the schools are doing is they're putting in their policies. You have to attend a meeting with the school. They're not putting the details in the policy, so parents still don't know what's going on.
All right. Well, Eamon, let me get a final word from you there.
Well, I think here the school could probably have handled it differently and more smoothly in just giving homework passes to the class and on the principle that the whole class collectively is doing this event. I mean, instead, one child is isolated, or their parents feel that the child is isolated. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is, you do what's good. The broader thing is it's a Catholic school in a broad sense. This is a ceremony and they're rewarded, and look, that's what's happening. But as I say, the important thing here, because we're going to have more of this when going forward, is that the state school system is still the Catholic school eye, and both sides want to. That's the way it is, and that is with the so-called Republic, which outsourced the health and education system to the Catholic Church.
And they certainly did. Look, we won't get into all of that right now. We're out of time. 53106. I'd love to hear people's views on this issue, not on the particular case, because look, I'm conscious there a couple of times we strayed into that particular case, and there is a child who, by all accounts, was very upset by this. So let's not talk about the case, but just the issue, this issue of rewarding children for taking part in religious ceremonies. 53106 at a cost of 30 cents. Eamon Delaney, Michael Nugent, thanks a million.